Yes. Okay. So, Ulma Formak, it comes from Spain. Just remember the few of the names. After that comes Alsina. Alsina again from Spain. You have Pasal Formak. Then you have RMD. RMD is from UK. So UK based organization. Then you have MFE from Malaysia. You have SFOM from Malaysia. You have Kumkang from Korea. And you have Otino. These are the few recognized names in the Indian market who are serving the form of industry for us. Right? So, just to introduce Starply and also to introduce what are the systems in the form of in the working. So, this is working. Okay. Yeah, I can click then I will click. Yeah. Here it's not clicking. So it will happen only one place. You can sit here. Yeah, but be participative so that we can know where you are right now. So formwork, as I told, formwork is nothing. It's a mold. Just you can understand in a simple language. But if you have to define the formwork, how is there? Formwork in construction we call it as a form or we call it as a shutter. And there are two famous names in the market. What it do? In this case, what happened that the material which we pour is wet concrete. Right. So we have three words. One is form, second is shutter, and third one is wet concrete. Right. So what it do? Wet concrete is poured into the form and it allowed to set. Right. We pour the wet concrete in a form or in a shutter and we allow it to set. Till what? When the concrete gains or achieves strength, we remove the formwork. Once we remove the formwork, what we have is a completed concrete structure. Okay, so this is the simple way you can understand the formwork. It's a form or mold in which you pour the wet concrete, you allow it to set. Once the concrete is settled, gain its strength, you remove the shutter. What you get now is your completed concrete structure. This is the simple explanation of the formwork. But as you are engineers, if you have to define technically, then formwork is temporary structure used to mold concrete to a desired shape and hold it in place until it has gained enough strength to support itself. Right? What is mean is like you can pour the concrete and cannot remove the shutter immediately. You have to give it the time so that in that time the concrete get its own strength. So most of the cases, formwork is a temporary structure. In the market, there are a few permanent formwork structures or permanent formworks are also there, but 90-95% formworks are temporary structures. Once you pour, you remove the formwork. If we go in a, like we have a civil engineering, then we have a different departments in the civil engineering, right? So in a formwork also, there is a formwork is a bigger name. Now you have a different terminologies in the formwork. So formwork, you have already seen the definition. All the arrangement done to support the green concrete till it attains the strength is known as a formwork or temporary work. Formwork determines what it do. It determines the geometry, shape, size, and finish of the structure. Right. So in whatever construction material you see, what will be the finish of the structure, what will be the dimensions of the structure, how will be the shape or geometry of the structure, that completely depend on your formwork, right? So there are various terminologies in formwork. One is centering, shuttering, staging, and scaffolding. Maybe whenever you go on the sites, you heard these all names, right? So all this together, it's called as a formwork. But if we precisely define what is centering, shuttering, then centering is the part of the formwork which support the horizontal surface. Now, in a structure, what are the horizontal surfaces? Slab bottom, right? Slab bottom, beam bottom, these are the horizontal surfaces, right? So whatever formwork you will put to support this construction of this structure, that is known as a centering, right? Another terminology is shuttering. What is the shuttering? Shuttering is part of the formwork which support the vertical part of the structure. So that we define as a shuttering. What are the vertical parts? Columns are there, then beam sides are there. So these are the parts which is the vertical surface of the structure. So this is we see in centering, then we see in shuttering. Now third thing is we call it staging. What is staging? Staging, now see, when we have to cast the slab, you put the formwork, right? Now formwork cannot hang in air. You require something to support the formwork. So what we put below the shuttering, below the centering, or what we'll put to support the centering is called as a staging, right? So we props or jacks or munda, or there are various names in the market. This all is nothing. It's all called as a staging material, right? Then there is another terminology which is called scaffolding material. What are the scaffolding materials? So till now what we have done, we have put the shuttering, we have put the centering, we have put the staging. Now what we have to do is we have to pour the concrete. So how we have to reach that level from where we can pour the concrete. For that what we do, we put a scaffolding. So scaffolding, what is scaffolding? The arrangement which is meant to be a supporting platform for people, right? To reach the level of doing the concreting, or after that you have to do plastering, you have to do the supervision, you have to do the inspection, measure, fitter, whatever activities you have to do. For that you require access. So the whatever material we put to provide that all access is called as a scaffolding material, right? So scaffolding is nothing but a fixed or movable platform. Can be a fixed one, it can be like stair, ladders and all, it can be movable platforms also, which can be used for working at height, right? Which can be used for working at height. They are usually used for the activities such as plastering, painting, brickwork, or work at height. So everyone is clear with all these definitions. No need to ratta marne ki zarurat nahi. No need to do that one. Just explain, understand in a simple way, so that it will be very easy for define in any form. So after understanding terminologies of centering, staging, scaffoldings, now one question comes that why we focus so much on formwork, right? Why it is so important to discuss the formwork as a subject. So in a construction, any kind of construction, there are mainly three materials. One is rebar. You are aware what is rebar, right? The steel which we see is called as a rebar. Second is concrete. Of course, what we pour, the original mixer is called concrete. Third one is formwork. These are the main three material in any kind of construction, right? Now, if you see in these three, the formwork is one element which can significantly affect your duration and success of the project. Like steel, you have to anyway tie the steel. What you can do, you can put some better machinery to tie faster. Rest of all R&D, you cannot do much in the kind of rebars. Same with concrete. You have to pour the concrete. There is a duration, like you have to pour in 8 hours or 10 hours. You can reduce for maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, but you cannot do 8 hours pouring in 2 hours. Not possible, right? So there you cannot control the timing in that way. But if you don't control your formwork timings, it affects your formwork, your project timeline very significantly. Formwork is always a headache of any project manager, right? If you go with numbers, formwork makes up to 25% of the cost of a structure and about 60% of the time involved for the structure. So one structure, if we have to cast, about 50% of the cost goes in a formwork, and sorry, 25% of the cost goes in a form work, and 60% of timing is required for the form work activity only. So this is the main reason why we are focusing on the form work as a subject. Now, our responsibility as a civil engineer or as a form work engineer is to reduce both these numbers. The 25% of the cost and 60% of the time, how much we can reduce, this is our expertise to make the form work, make the project successful and economical for the company. Yes. So for that, there are some specialities of system form work, which is defined by the engineers, like how the form work should be there, right? So if I just ask you that if you are a project manager or if you are a form work manager at the site, how you want your form work should be? In a simple language, how the form work should be? If I
what are the qualities you expect for a good form work?
As a project manager, you think like you are a project manager and given a system from some, what do you expect from that? The very first thing. So the finish of the concrete should be good with this form work. Of course, because this is the end product what you want. What else you want?
It should require less time to join and make the form work.
Perfect. So it should require minimum time to do the assembly or decoupling of the system. What else you want?
Perfect quality.
Quality is the finish. Like, okay, if finish is proper, we are happy, and it should not be broke. It should be having the strength. So that's also fine. Yeah. What else?
It should be strong, sir. It should withstand the load of the concrete.
Of course, it has to be there. Otherwise, it is not a form work. It will make a disaster on the site, right? What else?
And cost.
Of course, cost is one of the bigger factors. Huh? You can give the best form work, but if your project is not able to afford that cost, you cannot utilize at your site. What else you want? You should be able to understand it easily. Yeah? So I give you a system which you see, and you are your labor. Who is the labor? You are not the labor. Like you are the controller of the project, but the labor who work at the site who doesn't know even ABCD. Like if he is not able to understand, if I have to bring the material from Germany and also the labors from Germany, our project cannot run. It should be very simple to understand. And this is the first need of any form. Right? We summarize all the things. The first thing is that also it should require a minimum labor, because labor is the biggest issue at any of the site. Even changing of the labor, today some gains is there, tomorrow some other gain will come on the site. So it should require as minimum as labor. It should be simple in the erection and in the dismantling. It should be user friendly. We don't have any labors to import from. Earlier it was happening when 2007-8 this all systems came in India. The engineers were also coming from Germany to train the people. But now it cannot. It is not affordable. It should give high repetition. Somebody has told strength and the quality of the system that determines by the kind of repetition we can have from them. As many times as we repeat, that 25% of the cost of the material what we told, it will reduce by that. And as number as you will use it. For every repetition, you cannot put a new formula. It should be a flexible and adaptable system for varying concrete structures. Right? When we have you understand that you have a big mass housing project or a housing project or a commercial project, there are n number of columns, there are n number of floors are there. For each and every structure, if I put a new formwork, you cannot afford them. So what kind of formwork you want that? The same formwork can be utilized for different structures. If the column dimension is something, you can also use that. If column dimension is something else, you can also use that. The same column material, if you can use in the wall, that reduce your inventory cost. So this all things is what we expect as a project manager from our company. Quality concrete surface. This is the biggest requirement. Now what it means by, so quality is has a very thin line. Which quality you want? The quality which is required for your project, right? If it is a project where you have to do like lot of maybe plaster, and then you are doing some kind of architect on that, so you have to define the finish that way. If you are doing a basement floors, you have to their quality is defined that way. So it cannot be happen that every time the best available quality you require. But what quality you require, you have to see in your tender documents, and it only you have to utilize that, because the formula which give you the most better quality is a postly form. You cannot use every time. That is our duty to define. It should be lightweight, easy to handle. Why it should be lightweight? Because we have a tower crane at the site, but the tower cranes are not always free for the form. If you go any of the site, tower crane has a lot of things to handle. Also, there is a reach of tower crane is limited at the site. So if your form work always require a tower crane, then it's not a good form work. But again, there are some critical structures where you require that kind of form work which require a tower crane. 99% we should avoid. Less weight because nobody want to like handle a heavy system. Even I will not like to lift that. So when we select any kind of form work, there are few selection parameters which we have to look now. So this is what we have seen in the last slide is what is the speciality of a system form. Now how to select a system form? That is again a challenge for us, right? For that, what are the key parameters? First thing is that we have to see that what is my structure requirement. Do I have to cast the entire structure in one go, or I can do it in multiple? Do I need to cast it monolithically, or can I do it in multiple? Like if you have to cast a column of 12 meters, right? You have to see in the tender document, do I need to cast all 12 meter in one go, or I can cast in 3 meter, 3 meter, 3 meter, or in 6 meter. This is you have to read in a tender document, or you have to see that what is my project requirement. Because the 12 meter single casting is also possible. It's very costly. Right. Second is that you have now in this house you have wall, you have a column, you have a slab. Do I need to cast everything together, or can I first cast the column and wall and then I can cast the slab and beam? What is the project required? If it is defined in the tender, you have to go ahead. So first thing you have to see that what number of cores you want. Second, the biggest thing you have to see that cycle time of your project. What it means like how much quantity you will order. Like you will indent your purchase manager that sir I need a form of 1000 square meter. He will ask why you need 1000 square meter. So you have to see that in what time I have to finish my project. Based on that, you have to do the batch calculation depending on the cycle time of the former that this much quantity minimum I require at my site. Concrete pressure, it's a very critical thing, and this has to be taken care by the design engineer. That what concrete pressure is going to come on my formwork, and the formwork should be able to withstand that. Otherwise, once you pour the concrete, it will open, all the concrete will flow out, which we don't want. So the concrete pressure is one of the important factors which your project design manager has to define. Site condition. This is also a very important factor which we ignore most of the time. Like availability of land, manpower, machine, and cranes. Again, as I explained you, if you are working in a city like Bombay, right, where you have lot of issue with the space, you are making a 100 floor tower, but you don't have any space outside. Where to keep your material, where to stand your vehicles, this all has a question mark there. In that place, if you buy a formwork which require a lot of space to do the assembly of the formwork, you are done, you are finished. Or if you have bought a formwork which require a tower crane and you don't have a tower crane at site, you are gone. So you have to study also what is available with me. You are working in Assam where you have an issue with the skilled labor and you put a system which require only the skilled labor, you are gone. You can't work with it. So this is also you have to note as a formwork manager, like what kind of like resources I have with me. Finish, less rework, form finish, you have to check. There are some architectural buildings where you cast it and then you leave it as it is. You don't do any kind of plastering, painting, repair, nothing. So that require very specific form of system. But most of the buildings housing project doesn't require that. Right? So you have to choose the form of equipment. Budget control, because why we are there in the market to make the money for our firm or for ourselves, right? If you are the owner of the company. So everything has a budget control. You have to see that how to spend for my firm. So this is also a critical factor you have to note. So these are the main things. So in these things, if you see that most of the things you can guess it, like how it is going to be worked. The only thing is that concrete pressure, which you are not able to guess it, you have to derive it, right? So there are a few factors which affect your concrete pressure. We should be knowing that what are the factors which is going to affect my concrete pressure, right? So you just put them out. So anybody is aware like how the temperature affect the concrete pressure? What will happen if concrete if temperature increase or decrease?
Between time, decreases.
When?
Workability, sir.
Pardon?
Workability of concrete.
Couldn't get you.
It settles very quickly when temperature is.
When
Because we are
temperature?
dry.
Down or increase?
Increase.
Increase. Okay. So if we see as the weather become warmer, like the concrete both solidified in a shorter time. So what will happen? Like in this case, like when the weather is cold, the concrete will not settle so easily. But when the weather is warm, the concrete will get settled very easily. So what is happen with this flow of concrete in warm weather is more difficult than in cold weather, right? Because the concrete settles. That means the pressure is low, right? Generally, we design the system formwork for a higher pressure in a winter and for lower pressure in summer. This is a simple criteria. A thumb rule is there: if your temperature drop down from 15 degrees centigrade to 5 degrees centigrade, the pressure on the system formwork increase by 50%. Like, why this is important now? We have to see that where my formwork is going to be used. As I told that we, as a Sarply, we manufacture our system in Ukraine. This is a country near Russia, it's a European country. Now, but we supply the material all over the world. So when we dispatch the material from Ukraine, we see that which city we are dispatching it and which kind of temperature that city is. India is lucky that our temperature is in the range where this doesn't matter as much. But as a country called Canada or a country called Poland, where about 6 months, 7 months, you have extremely cold. There you have to even use heater vibrators, shutter heaters and all to keep your formwork warm. Otherwise you cannot work. The pressure will be too much in that case, right? So you have to, when you do the inquiry of the formwork for your projects, you define that which city you are going to use it. Don't keep it blank that मैं बताऊंगा नहीं आपको कहाँ use करना है, confidential. No, you have to tell that where I am going to use it. If it's a coastal area, that has different factors. If most of my formwork will go corridor, if it is a coastal area, it will require a galvanized formwork there. So you have to tell me that where you want to use my formwork. Second is the height of the formwork. Again, the height of formwork also impacts. Right? The impact resulting from dropping concrete from height can increase the pressure. Simple funda, we drop a ball from here and we drop a ball from here, it has a more pressure. The same happens with the formwork also. So it is defined that at what height we are going to pour the concrete. Most of the cases you are not allowed to pour the concrete more than 1.5 meter height. Right? 1.2 or 1.5 meter height from where you have to drop the concrete. Now what we do that I told you earlier that we can cast 12 meter structure also, 10 meter structure. How we are going to do that? Then? If you are not even allowed to drop the concrete from 1.5 meters.
By using some pipes.
Yeah, by using some hose pipe or something, you put in the shutter, you go down, then you pour the concrete and you slowly, like you can pick it up as the formwork, as the concreting pours in. But in any case, if you drop directly from 3 meter, 4 meter, the concrete will get segregated. Right? Also the pressure will increase. The concrete mix, nowadays there are a lot of admixtures we add in the concrete that also affect the form. So you have to tell that what kind of concrete you are going to use and what the admixtures you are using, M30, M40, M58 and SSC concrete. If you don't define that, then also the disaster will happen with the form. Very important. Speed of filing the shutter. As I told you, go any work site, at the just before the lunch hours, everybody is very active. And just before the end of the day, everybody is very active. So that time they pour whatever the concrete available to pour. We have to control that what kind of cubic meter or what concrete you are pouring in your structure. So how we control it generally with the rate of rise. We call it meter per hour rise in the form. So I am not worried that how much concrete you are pouring, but I define that in my formwork, you cannot raise the concrete more than this per hour. And this is very critical to define in any kind of formwork drawing. The rate per hour has to be defined. Yeah. Otherwise, the pressure will be defined. You have to recalculate that. Okay, what is the rate per meter per hour? I can go in this, and you have to deal with your workers that they don't break this. Otherwise, the concrete will not give you the results what you want. Shape of the pour. If my shape is small, the pressure will be more in that case. Pressure will be more. If the shape is larger, the pressure will be less because concrete will flow like this. Because as I told you, the pressure is at the rate of rise. So that also you have to say that which structures I am going to pour the concrete. So we cannot blindly order, sir, send me that 500 square meter of formwork. No, you have to give the drawings, like which structure you are going to cast, column kya hai, what is the dimension of the wall, and accordingly you have to design your plan. How many dwellers will come, how many ties will come, that all need to be defined, right? So these are the 5 factors which you should be aware that which is going to control your formwork pressures. There are some codes not used much in India, but for your just knowledge, you can see that there are a few guidelines which is there to follow for any kind of system formwork. Right? So we discussed this all things. Now, what is the material which is used in the formwork? This is again a question that the formwork should be of what material. So there are some materials is already listed on your screen. The most general formwork material what we see is wood, bamboo bolo, timber bolo. This is we see each and every side. This was the first formwork material which was invented when our ancients was there. Then we came up with the engineering wood. What is the engineering wood? Plywood. So you tell plywood, or it's called H beams. Plywood is having a separate. Plywood is a very big market, so we have given a different name. It's a wood only, but it's become a plywood also identity now. So engineering wood is called H beams, or a different kind of LVLs is there in the market. You can just pass it and then give me back. You can get it back. So these are the H beams, and these are the, we call it LVL beams and all. Then you have aluminiums. You see aluminium shutter, somebody aware, Maiwan system, on aluminium. You have steel systems like or Salply, most of the systems comes as a steel system, or you see this metro construction and all. You see big steel structures are there, right? Steel structure is the second largest material which is used in a formwork after wood. Then you have plastic formwork. Many sites you can see that now polymer or plastic boards are also there. Till now, these are the listed material. Tomorrow you will invent some more material. It will listed in there. So there is no limitation that formwork should be of what material. Very important slide for mainly who are interested in design or planning of the projects. Right? What are the selection criteria of the formwork? So we have few of the criteria we have already seen, but if we summarize this all, first thing is what is the structure you have to see, what is the concrete surface you have to see, formwork height you should know, load or floor thickness what is there that you should know, what is my slab thickness, what is my width of the columns, press concrete ka pressure kya hai that you should be aware, building site condition you should be aware. Another important factor is that we are very happy to always buy a new material. But if you already have some inventory, how you can use that also while doing your new project, that also you have to see. So you cannot buy every time the new material. You should see that what material you own also, which material is already available with you, what is the surface finish we require, what the number of cranes you have, crane capabilities you should know. Like mere paas, if you have 2 ton capacity tower crane, your formwork itself is more than 2 ton, you are good, can't do anything with that, right? Number of kind of labors you have, experience with the formwork. If your formwork gang is good experience, you want to handle a climbing system like Lubeka and all, you cannot handle by any ordinary labors. You require a skilled labor for that. Safety also is a parameter. The formwork should be safe right now. Number of reuses, number of form type patterns. This all is something which you have to look while selecting any formwork. You cannot blindly buy a formwork, right? But mainly the 3 factors which is there is deadline, cost, and quality. Yeah, all these 3, if I summarize, is deadline of the project, cost what I am incurring, and the quality of structure what I am getting. So this is something which you have to control always, right? So we'll see that what kind of system we see around, right? First thing is the monolithic system, or we call it Maiwan system, mainly aluminium shutters. This you can see in n number of projects in Bangalore right now, right? So this is first kind of category. It's called monolithic formwork. Why it is a monolithic formwork? Because there you pour your vertical and slabs, horizontals together in a Maiwan system. You put the entire formwork and then you cast it. This is called monolithic system. Second, we have a category we'll call tunnel formwork. Tunnel formwork is nothing, but it's kind of tunnel shape. You see the next photo where you do the construction in the form of tunnels. It's one of the fastest method of the construction. Has some limitation that you require a similar kind of structure. Right? If your dimensions change even for 20 also, your formwork has to be rebuilt, changed. So tunnel formwork is very critical to decide if your complete structure is same, then only you can use tunnel formwork. Otherwise, you cannot use. The Maiman formwork is a very fast system. You can expect 4-day cycle also, but it requires a lot of labors. Yeah, because that has very small panels, small components. So it has some advantage, it has some disadvantage, both the systems. What we are more interested or more see in the site is modular formwork. Modular formwork is something which eliminates it take a benefit of this both system and it eliminates the disadvantage of that. In a monolithic system, there are various systems which we see in the market. We'll see some of them in detail also in my presentation. And any doubts, you stop me there and you can ask.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So the first formwork material what we have seen is formwork beam. You have already seen the sample H20 beam. So why this is called H20 beam? Because its height is 200 mm. So in Europe, everything is defined in centimeter. They don't deal in meters or mm. Yeah? So whatever dimension you will see is in centimeter. So 20 centimeters is 200 mm is the height. So you have H20 beam in the market. You have H16 beam in the market. Right? Now we have to see that where and how we can use. For that you have the criteria like shear force or bending moment, other technical criteria what you have. You do your test when you get it. Based on that, your design your formwork structure. Right? It most of the time it follows the codes like EN 13377 is the code from Europe. If your like beam is certified with that, you know that what is the capabilities of my H20 beams. There are H16 beams. So whatever the names I have shown you in the first slide, all the companies has these all systems. Yeah, everybody has different names. So no need to think that it's only available with the Sarflight. It's available with everyone. Everyone has put some their own thought in that. Something is good with us, something is good with some others. Yeah. So you just don't go with the name. Just understand what kind of systems are there. So first is HB. In Sarflight we call it P20 beams. Right. In Doka it will call H20B. In Perry, it will call VT20. So everybody has given their unique name based on their identity. But in general, it called HB. Right? In India, people just call it LNT beam or Doka beam. So there are the company who started using it first. There are other conventional formwork materials like LVL you have already seen. This is nothing, it's a plywood only. It's glued to plywood and it made in a shape of like 50 mm height. Right. It can be in width and length as we want. So Sarflight has our own factory for this, where we can give you any kind of dimensions what you want, but standard dimensions are there. Then you have WPC beam. What we did in WPC beam, we in the same wooden we have covered it with plastic. Like wooden has an issue that you can cut it, it can have water, it can spoil it. So we have WPC beam also. This is just a kind of experiment we do. Pardon? Laminated VDF lumber. Yeah. WPC का wood plastic. Wood plastic. Yeah. Then you have silver wood, you have pine wood. So silver wood, pine wood is also used in a huge quantity at any of the site as a conventional quantity. Why should be knowing? You should be knowing this all are the construction material. That's it. And once you go on the particular field, you know that what to deal with this. The next is plywood. Like there are different kind of plywood. The best plywood in the market is burst ply. Burst is nothing. It's kind of wood. Like we have mango tree, rubber tree. It's a burst tree. This is very soft. It can renail very easily and gives one of the best finish to the structure. So if you have more number of repetitions and you require very good finish, use the burst plywood. Otherwise, you have calibrated plywood, you have densified plywood, it's this kind of red ply you see at any of the sites. So every plywood has their own identity and they require as per the requirement of the site. We cannot define that why we should use this or why we should use that. That's in the project. In Sarflight, we have plastic coated plywood also. Again, we have same wooden, we have wrapped with the plastic and we made it plastic coated plywood. When we form the component, when we go towards the systems, the first system comes in mind is called Vertex 60. Nothing is called HB based system. Okay? So as you see in the picture, H-beam based system is nothing. You have H20B backed by the valence. You can make any kind of shape, size, height with this as per the structure. So you know the structure. Based on the structure, you design that what should be spacing of my primary beam, what should be spacing of my secondary beam, what should be spacing of my tops, and accordingly you can define the system. Yeah, you can make the system. Then another photo where you can see the same H-beam using in the form of columns also. Right? So this is one of the most used material at any of the construction industries. Right. Now, what is the advantage of this? As I told you, the advantage of this that you can match any shape, size, or height. Right? It's very user friendly. What is the disadvantage of this? You require a skilled labor to understand this system, because this system you have to assemble at site. I am going to supply you the components. You have to make the system at the site. So you require a skilled carpenter, laborers who, as per the drawing, who will assemble the system at the site. Once we assemble the system, it becomes a system which requires tower crane to handle. This system cannot be handled without tower. Right? So these two limitations are there. But advantage is that whatever you want, you can cast with that. And this is the cheapest available in the market. Cheapest system available. So to eliminate these two limitations, one is like we require skilled carpenter, we require tower cranes. What engineers do, they make the panel based system. Before going in panel based system, just if you see a plan and section of this kind of system, what you see here, you have mainly S20 beams, then you have steel valves to support the H beams. You have push-pull jacks to do the alignment system. You have tie rods to mainly take the pressure of the entire system. You have working platform on which you can stand and pour the concrete. These are the main components of, or this is the plan view of section view of any kind of structure, vertical structure with this H-beam system. Right. Will not go much in design today, but if somebody is interested, they can connect me offline and we can talk on that. You can see the different kind of shapes you can achieve with this kind of. Yeah, no limitations. So to eliminate this all, we launched the panel system. Now, what is the beauty of the panel system? In the panel system, the panel from factory itself comes ready-made. You don't need to do any carpenter activity at the site. Right? We have some profiles of the panel. You can just see. Two different kind of systems. So one of our most marketed, most successful system in this form is called Vari Eco. As the name, our manufacturing company name is Variant. That is why Vari, and Eco is economical. It's the most economical system available with this. Right? What is the beauty of this system of Vari Eco is, in this case, you get a ready-made panel of a different width and a different height. So, like in our case, we keep a 3-meter height panel and 1.2-meter height panel. This is the most used at the site with a different width, maximum up to 0.9 meter. Why up to 0.9 meter? Because after that, it's not a manual. After that, it becomes too heavy. So, till 900 mm, the weight is about 80 kg. This can be manually handled. Right. Also, this system has, as you see in the photo, 2 people can carry this system. Right? Not you and me, but the labor can definitely carry this. This system, for assembling of 2 panels, it just requires a clamp. You see in the photo, the clamp you just fix it. You require only 3 clamps in a 3-meter height. The panel is assembled. Right? The tie rod holes, if you see that, it's already pre-marked in the panel. So your labor, who are the unskilled labor, they don't need to think that where I will put the tie rod, where I will connect the connectors. It's all defined in the system. If you explain them on, if you don't explain them also, they will know. This is a kind of clamp. You just put it and just rotate it. Once you show them, they will understand. Right? Second is this system. Yeah, you can ask me if any doubt. Yeah, it's a cut of the panel. Yeah. Yeah, ply will face the concrete. Yeah, no, never the steel. The ply is going to face the concrete. It's just a cut part of the entire. You can see here the panel progress in your screen. Yeah. You are not in the meeting. what I can do? You can come here. No, but control is not with me. So, sir, you can just check with me. Yeah, you got it. Just see a small video again. So very eco, we call it lightweight frame formwork system. It can be used for any vertical structure. It can be column, wall, footings. You can see the connector here. It can be used for straight wall. It can be used for inclined wall also. It can be used for column in different form. A small glimpse also how we manufacture this system, the kind of quality we try to provide it. This all manufacture on robotic machines. With very good powder coated or galvanized finished. Yeah. So you have two different kind of panels in your head.
What is the length of per panel?
So you have 3 meter height. In a height, if you talk, you have 1.2 meter height, 1.5 meter height, you have 0.9 meter height. Width wise, we have maximum 900. Below that is we have 750, we have 600, we have 500. 4 or 5 different. 0.9, because after that the weight will become too heavy. 0.9 by 3 meter is about 80 kg weight. So more than that, if I give to the labor, it is not a manual system. Okay. You have two different systems on your hand. One is profile based system, which is this one, and one is angle based system. So this all is as per the use and as per the price range. So this is very costly one, which is profile one. This is little bit economical one, which is angle one. Right? We'll go a little fast. This is the third system, which is called ring form. This system is mainly used for circular structure. We can cast any circular above 7 meter diameter with infinite diameter with this structure where the panel comes ready made from the factory, and you just rotate the turnbuckle to give the curvature shape. A lot of projects we did with this in Bangalore also. In Haber we did, Kodlur we did the one project. Some projects we are doing right now in Goa. So this is what we seen for the vertical structure, right? Now you have a horizontal structure called slab. Slab ke liye, the most common material again is S20B. So this is, you can see this the main the simple plan of the system. You have prop, above that you have U head on which you hold the S20B. You have primary and secondary B. Above that you have a slab. This is a simple system. We call it very flex. So again, flexible to use at different geometries, and the main material is S20B material. Yeah, just see, we'll go a little quick on this. Any doubt, you just ask. Different photos. Then, if you have a commercial project, you can make this system as a table also. Like this is a table. You can assemble this, lock the ends, and become a table. You don't need to dismantle it every time. Just lower the table, pull it out, take it to the next floor, and keep it there. Okay. So this way, you can make it as a table also. Some glimpse of table formwork. Then you have shaft platforms. Shaft, we have seen the verticals, slab, both the things, but shaft inner side, right? That is hollow from the ground till the top. So what you do, you have a shaft platform kind of system on which you can hang it the formwork at each floor, and you can cast it till you finish your project. Right? So it's defined separately. And you have climbing system. What are the climbing system? Till now, whatever systems we have seen, we go floor to floor. But if you want to go above the floor, the floor or stair wall has to take more than 2 floors, 3 floors ahead of the slabs. You require the climbing form. Very few projects in Bombay, in Bangalore, but Bombay it's quite familiar that all the projects goes high. Like even 5 floors, 6 floors high, they can go from the slab. So there they require climbing system. Climbing system can be crane assisted or it can be hydraulic, both, right? A small glimpse of scaffoldings we have seen in the definition. So in the case of scaffolding, if I see the regulation of scaffolding, so there are mainly 6 kind of scaffolding systems are available in the market. Tubes and fitting, you have wedge lock, you have ring lock, right? You have gravity lock, and you have no ring. These are the main systems available in the market. If tomorrow some new system will come, we'll put again in this slide. if you see the comparison of how fast this system are there, the oldest system tube and fitting, it's give about 1.75 cubic meter per man hour productivity. Means one person can install 1.75 cubic meter area. If with no limit, you can do 25 cubic meter. This is the beauty of the system former. As the system get advanced, you see the productivity is how many times? It's more than 12 times you are getting the productivity. Right? So this is where you have to see that what productivity you want. Ring lock will give you 7 cubic meter. Gravity lock will give you 10 cubic meter. No limit will 24 cubic meter. But no limit is about 10 times costlier than tubes and fitting. So you have to do the balance, like what I can invest and what I want in it. Perfect. What the ring lock or no limit can do. Just see the right hand side photo where the people are doing a very good job serving their nation, hanging without fear anything they are hurt. But do we want to do as an engineer this? Hang it from there and then do the casting, do the any kind of repair or anything? No. What we can do with the no limit, you see. You can make a tower, hang the tower safely. You see that any of the three levels will never go in a danger zone. Yeah. From standing on their place, they make the new next place where they are going to be there. See, they drag it from the top. Nobody is coming down. They are working at the sea level. Yeah? They hang from there. They can cover the entire structure. So we are engineers, let's not be the warriors. We need our mind to put in the technology and to be safe at the site. Let's not put our labors in it. So once the structure is complete, now we give the clearance that okay, engineers can come and they can now work with my system. Then again the same way you can dismantle it. Right? Another cocoa one kind of used in industry. See which the structure is having very narrow space at the below. You have to install the entire scaffolding, but where the top part is not narrow, it's a very expanded one. So you can do the scaffolding there also. Only on a 4 leg you can rest of entire scaffolding. But this all has to be thought by the engineer. They have to define, design it, then only it's possible. Right? So here we end our presentation. Just a quick view of the formwork industry. In detail, you can connect me anytime. You have my numbers. But till now, if you have any doubts, you can just ask. Yeah, anyone? How many times can we use this? This ply in the panel, it can be used about 100 to 120 times. The frame has a life of 7 to 10 years. So, about what will happen that if you carry, you can even use more than 150 also. But generally, 120, 130 is where the finish will not be so good what we want. So, we remove the ply, we again fix a new ply in this. Again, it is ready for another 100 repetition. Minimum 100 repetition should be there. But there are heroes in the site who is scoring 1 repetition also. So, you have to be aware about that heroes. Yeah? LBS, like it gives about 40 repetition at the site. Like plywoods, what we have seen is a birch ply will give about 25 to 30 repetition, where the conventional ply will give about 8 to 10 repetition. So all these systems are there, but these all are the materials you have to take care of it to get the better repetition. Right? Anything else? Weight of that panel. So 3 meter by 900 is the biggest panel, heaviest panel. It's weight about 80 kg. Yeah, the smaller panels are having less weight. In thumb rule wise, roughly it's 34 kg per square meter. This is the weight of this. Yeah. So it looks like 80 kg is little heavy in a mind, but laborers can handle it. 2-3 laborers can easily manage it. It should not be so easy also that they just okay talking on the phone they throw the system. Okay. So that is why it should not be so easy also, so lightweight also. Just lightweight to work. Yeah. Any other question? You can note down my details. It's, my email ID is sandeep@sarclive or formwork@sarclive. You have my mobile numbers. You can connect me anywhere. I'm available on LinkedIn or any other social platform also. Jinay is our head of formwork. He is based in Bangalore. I'm based in Bombay. So if anytime you could Bombay, you can connect me. Otherwise, Jinay is here. He is there in our office in Mysore. So if you need any support, Jinay can assist you. We will share this card also with you. So, pardon? That you can take from sir. We'll give him. There is some slides which we cannot share. We'll remove that and we'll give you them the cerebral slide to sir, and we can take it. That's it. But any doubt you can write me on the mail. I can provide you, or you can go to the website. You can download whatever. A lot of temple materials.
So can you use such structure in residential?
This is for residential. This is mainly for the residential, where the columns and walls are. If you go in industry or go in infra, there this system is little difficult. There uneven shapes and roof structures are there. Then you go with HB based. The finance system is mainly for the HB. N number of projects in mind. What I mean to say, next time when you go any site, just try to see that what kind of systems is there on the site. Note down. If any doubt, call to Sir, Ashok Sir, or me, and you can get it. But whatever I have shown till now, there will be no other system available in the market except for VHC. So with this, we'll end the program here. We have a ceremony also, the celebration there. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.